Will Jake Paul become a champion? Let's take a deeper look into the stats and facts. Jake Paul's last professional fight took place on December 18th, 2021 against Tyron Woodley in Tampa, Florida. Jake Paul stepped onto the scale with an official weight of 191.5 pounds. This puts Jake Paul in the cruiserweight division of boxing, which is a category of fighters that weighs more than 176 pounds but less than 200 pounds. The current cruiserweight champions as of this upload are Arsen Goulamirian holding the WBA belt, Ilunga Makabu holding the WBC belt, Jai Opataya holding the IBF belt, and Lawrence Okolie holding the WBO belt as of this upload. The champion with the least professional fighting experience is Lawrence, with a professional record of only 18 fights, 0 losses, 14 KOs at the age of 29. Lawrence has been fighting professionally since 2017, surprisingly with a total of 7 fights taking place in his first year of his career. Let's compare that to Jake Paul. Jake Paul is 25 and already has 5 professional fights and 4 KOs. At this rate, Jake Paul would have to fight 13 more times in the next 4 years before reaching a total of 18 fights by the time Jake turns 29, which is highly unlikely if we're being realistic. However, the number of fights does not determine if you will become a champion in boxing. For example, Lomachenko became the featherweight champion only on his 3rd professional fight. Therefore, Lomachenko is a prime example on why Jake Paul can become a champion sooner than you think. Now let's take a look at a fighter like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a perfect example of a top-level undefeated fighter with over 20 fights that has never become a world champion or fought a world championship bout. Ryan Garcia has an undefeated record of 23 fights and 19 wins by KO. He currently competes in the lightweight division weighing 135 pounds. The current champions in the lightweight division include Devin Haney holding the WBC, IBF, WBO belts, as well as the WBA Super Champion belt, also Gervonta Davis holding the WBA World Championship belt. Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis are both undefeated and are considered to be top boxers in the sport today. Both fighters are known for their speed, accuracy, and knockout power. Ryan Garcia has repeatedly called out Gervonta Davis and stated that he wanted to fight Davis in post-fight interviews. However, the fight between the two boxers never officially became announced. A fight between Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis would be considered a super fight in the sport of boxing. However, Floyd Mayweather made it clear that he wants Ryan Garcia to beat Ronaldo Romero before facing Gervonta Davis for the belt. Garcia would have to maintain his perfect record to have the opportunity to fight Gervonta Davis or Devin Haney for the belts. However, Ryan Garcia showed that he is vulnerable to bigger opponents such as Luke Campbell after getting knocked down in the 2nd round of their fight. To make a long story short, it's quality over quantity. If you could fight the right guys, it doesn't necessarily matter how many guys you actually fight. It does matter if you beat them though, you can't lose and win a belt. And also, beating someone who has a lot of wins doesn't necessarily mean you're beating the right level of talent. For example, Tyron Woodley has a total of 27 fights and Jake Paul already beat him twice. And a lot of these undefeated fighters are kinda dodging each other to keep their undefeated records, but that's a story for a different day. If Jake Paul continues to fight fighters past their primes or fighters not worthy of a belt caliber, then his path to a belt is going to be kinda difficult for any one of the 4 major sanctioning bodies to reward Jake's victories. Now, if a sanctioning body offers Jake Paul a mandatory challenger and Jake Paul accepts that request, then his path to a belt is just 1 victory away if he wants such a challenge. Of course, he'd have to win the fight though. That's a new question in and of itself. Now, on one end, you could say he's no longer fighting old UFC fighters or former NBA players, but if he accepts such a challenge, this will ultimately be brand new territory for him. He can make all the custom amateur belts he wants, but if he wants a real belt, he's gotta earn it the old-fashioned way. If we have to look at this logically, it's no until proven yes, and so far Jake Paul has not proven he can fight someone of such a caliber, though I do think it's possible but not probable as of this upload. Maybe in the future he can improve his fighting style and fight better fighters. Until then, we simply don't have enough material to work with to make a concise decision. And then there's the matchup in of itself. Who is he actually going to fight? Again, there's just too much hypotheticals to give you a legitimate answer. However, I would like to know your opinion at least. Comment down below if you think Jake Paul is good enough to become the next cruiserweight champion. Don't forget to knock out that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. This has been Ringside Rewind, and we'll fast forward to you later.